Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to Business Innovators Radio. Today, we have a very special guest on the show, and he's going to share some very exciting information with us in the technology and accounting realm. Our special guest today is Brad Adams. He is the president of Qvinci, which is a software as a service subscription, and the company's been in business since 2007. They're based out of Austin, Texas, and his solution allows companies to consolidate their accounting. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Constant.
Now, I may have butchered some of that, and I apologize if I do. But could you explain to the listeners a little bit about your company, Qvinci, and the services that you provide?
Certainly. In a nutshell, Qvinci allows the small business owner with multiple locations to consolidate their financials in the cloud and instantaneously and receive a customized dashboard and reports on how its multiple units are doing compared to one another.
Okay, excellent. And this, I have an accounting background myself, and so I definitely see the value. The first time we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, I remember we had a facility. Manufacturing company that I worked for, we had 17 facilities in Mexico, 2 in Honduras, 4 in the Philippines, and it was always, and at the time we were actually rolling everything up through spreadsheets. So having a solution like yours would really come in handy. Now, is there, in terms of size and scale, what are you guys targeting? Large companies, medium-sized companies, or small companies?
Well, today we're focused on the medium to large entities with multiple locations. We just signed a pilot, and we're actually in the middle of a pilot with a large group of franchisors with 5,800 locations.
Wow.
We are in the process of signing a deal with one of the largest franchisors in the country for a pilot of 1,000. And their ecosystem is probably 20 to 25,000 locations. So we're actually focused on the middle to large, but our software benefits the guy with 5 units to 25,000 to 50,000 units. It doesn't really depend. It doesn't matter how big you are.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you're a single unit, you don't benefit from the consolidation because you're a single unit. But we are coming out with next year some KPI dashboards and for the single user. But right now, our primary focus is on the middle to large franchisors who do not today have access to the full view of the financial health of their franchisees.
Okay.
And that's what we do. We consolidate these multiple units and then give the CFO or the business owner a dashboard and customizable reporting to give them full visibility of the financial health of their businesses.
So now, is there any type of software requirements that they, like specific accounting packages that they have to use in order to benefit from your services?
Right now, we consolidate QuickBooks, MYOB, Xero, and Excel spreadsheets. And that's 95%, I think, of the small business market.
Mm-hmm.
Our software does work with other accounting packages, but we have not done the tech yet to do that. And because we're one step, we're a company. We're taking things one step at a time. Our motto is define, focus, and execute. So our market is defined right now, and on that small, on the small business owner and the medium to large multi-unit business owner or association, and that's what we're going to execute on over the next year to two. In the future, by all means, we are going to look at other avenues in terms of other accounting packages and providing some benefit to the single user.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now, you guys started in 2007. Are you guys the same company when you started as you are now, and how have you evolved and over that period of time?
We have made. Well, let me go back. 2007, we started as a small tech shop. Our inventor, Charles Nagel, we like to refer to him as our artist, our Rembrandt. He's the guy that invented this software, and he's our chief innovation officer today. He runs the tech group. That group of 5 or 6 people for the first 4 or 5 years were building out the functionality of the system, testing it, doing pilots, making some money, but not really penetrating the market very well, just getting established. Mm-hmm. And I came in later on and decided in December 2013 that we need to reinvent the company and raise money and build out a traditional company. And I did that. I raised $3.4 million, and then spent then until now building out the team. We've gone from 4 or 5 employees. We're at almost 30 now. We'll probably be, I would say, 35 to 40 by the end of 2015. We've put together a traditional company from soup to nuts. I mean, tech department, customer service department, sales, marketing, executive, HR. We've redefined the company to focus and execute on our clients and for our clients. So we're a completely different company today than we were just 18 months ago. And I'm very proud of our employees. We have great employees, and they have really stepped up. And everybody at Qvinci, we bleed blue. Qvinci blue. And it's a real great group of people, and I think we are going to do very well in 2016 as a company.
Awesome. Well, I'm from the University of Michigan, and I bleed blue too, so I'm with you there. So now, what would you say is your biggest challenge right now? The thing that really keeps you up at night?
Our biggest challenge is, and I think we've made some serious progress this year on that, is convincing the marketplace we can do what we say we can do. Mm-hmm. We're a young company, okay? We're out there telling our clients that we're basically going to change small business software from a non-enterprise class software to an enterprise class software. That's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we just signed 2 pilots with 2 major U.S. brands. So we are starting to convince people, yes, we can consolidate tens of thousands of small business files and give the owner a report. Now, we received our first patent on April 28th, 2015. And we just received word from the patent office that they are going to issue our second patent if we give them a few documents and do some disclosures, which we've done. So we think that was going to be issued. We have 9 more patents filed all over the America and foreign, and we're looking at filing 3 additional. So IP rights is a very important thing to a small company, and getting our first patent and convincing our clients we can actually do what we say we can do is a big challenge and I think we're making that challenge, and we're exceeding that challenge right now. But that's what keeps me up at night. Because we have, there are companies like Oracle and Intuit and all these big companies that provide all this software, and here we are, a little small company out of Austin. We have a job. I'd have to convince you that this software does what it does. It gives you the value propositions. It helps you solve a problem in your company, and it's very inexpensive relative to the problems we solve, and that's a challenge. We have 6 salesmen, and when we started out last year, every month went by and there were no sales, but they were doing demos and they were meeting with people, and now we're starting to see deals close.
Oh.
So that's been that is a really big concern. It's not so much a concern now. It was when last year. I'm getting more comfortable with it. Now it's the traditional SaaS model is not a very good model. You have companies like LinkedIn that have how many hundreds of thousands of users, and according to the reports, they don't make a profit. What differentiates Qvinci from the regular SaaS model is when we sell to a major brand. Let's say we sell to a Pizza Hut. Okay, we sell to Pizza Hut, and then they have 10,000 Pizza Huts worldwide. All right, we make one sale, we got 10,000 sales. So that's what's going to differentiate us, and that's why we are initially focusing toward the medium to large businesses, because we're spending a considerable amount of money putting this team together. We have to generate revenue to cover those costs. And I think we will do that this year, and we'll succeed. But with 7 million QuickBook files in the U.S. alone that are multi-unit groups, and we have a patent on consolidation. One can look at those numbers and it's easy to figure out. You don't have to make a huge penetration in the market to be successful.
Absolutely.
Now, we intend to make a huge penetration in the market and be hugely successful. But our members have been patient while we put together the team. And I think 2016 is going to be, I would say, a banner year for Qvinci.
So this is no doubt what's considered a complex selling cycle. So no one goes in there one time and then comes out with a sale. There's many gatekeepers, many levels of authority and approval to go through. Are your sales guys dealing with them alone, or are you in there with as the president also in the selling process?
Well, all of the above. I come from the oil field, and I'm basically I'm a lawyer by trade, but I became a salesman in the oil field. And my father started a company in the 50s, and we sold it in 07, 08, and I took off a few years and then got involved in Qvinci. But we adopted a strategy in the oil field. We're going to sell to the dispatcher all the way to the president, and every step in between. And that's what we're doing at Qvinci. We have salesmen and customer service people. We're calling on everybody in that chain. And just to give you an idea, we are finding out that when you're selling this type of software, which is basically an enterprise class software now, with the Qvinci add-on, when you sell that to a name brand, like for example, we're selling to one. He's got 5,800 units. We're in a pilot right now, getting ready to wrap it up. Hopefully, we'll go nationwide with them in January. That sales cycle took almost 16 months.
Mm-hmm.
From meeting with the accounting people, then going to the CFO, then making presentations, and then digesting, and I think that's quite reasonable because our software, while it sells for basically $14.95 a month per location, when you're dealing with 5,800 locations, that's a pretty big ticket per month. So we're finding that the sales cycle for our software is no different than any enterprise class software. It takes time for all to get everybody comfortable. Mm-hmm. Which goes back to our job is even more difficult because we're an unknown quantity. And we have to build trust in our clients too. We're not Oracle. We will be someday, but we're not there yet.
Now, just for clarity's sake, is this $1,495 a month or?
No, $14.95.
Okay.
And we have a single version for $4.95 that we're working on changing up, so we can give the single guy, because there's like about another 10 million singles out there that we can provide KPI dashboards and customized reports to. Mm-hmm. They're all. We're focusing on the franchisor, franchisee client, and the accountants who represent them right now. But there's all kinds of applications for our software in banking. Think if you had a bank, the Constance Bank, and you had 1,000 small business loans that you're required to report to the Small Business Administration, the Farming Administration, all these, reporting. Okay, would you rather have to have someone call all these people and gather all these financials, or would you rather Qvinci put their sync application in, and you can sync all 1,000 of those small business files to your computer at your office with a customizable report tool and a pushing tool, and you can predefine all the email addresses to all the different reporting, and in basically probably one day satisfy all your reporting requirements.
Yeah, I'd rather have the sync functionality.
And we don't have that finished yet. That's coming out. But how many farm loans are out there today? And what I'm hearing from people is most of the reporting requirements of these small business loans, they either don't happen, or they're a bunch of PDFs and Excel spreadsheets that are wrong. And they just email everything to the various organizations who don't know what to do with it because they just got a bunch of data. So we're working on that right now. That's a huge opportunity for us. And we're hoping to come out with that in 2016. But, that kind of a push is going to require sort of a team leader, of a sales team leader, and we're going to have to, we have some work to do on that one. But just to give you an idea of some of the additional functions, another function that we have now that we're trying to sell, we call it books to tax. You have QuickBooks, and then you have the tax function of QuickBooks. Well, right now, there's the only way to get the QuickBooks desktop over to the online tax thing is to do a series of maneuvers through downloading to spreadsheets and uploading and moving around, and it's complicated. Now you got QuickBooks Online, you can easily push that over. That QuickBooks has got that covered. Well, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these desktop users. Well, our sync app, our patented sync app, can sync all those books to the tax accountant, and then you can do your tax return on QuickBooks on the Intuit Tax website. And we're currently discussing with the relevant parties how best to do that. And it's like, it's again, we go back to that, we're trying to convince people to change the way they're doing things. And sometimes I think it's we're a small company and we need to work a little bit harder to convince people, yes, we can do this. And hence the pilots that we're working on right now. We got about 4 or 5 pilots with some big companies pending right now. That's going to conclude here in probably the next 30 to 60 days. So we have lots of applications of our software that we haven't even got to yet. Because people. Here's a great example. I was at a conference in San Diego, and I think the CFO of Jack in the Box, our inventor Charles Nagel, was doing a mock Shark Tank, and at $6 million of fake money to give away, we got 4.8. The other 8 people got 200,000, and they didn't give any of the other money away. But the CFO of Jack in the Box says that Qvinci software is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But we got that covered. We don't need it at Jack in the Box. So I got the guy at the cocktail party after the conference. I said, I got to find out what this guy's talking about. We have a patent on this thing. Well, what Jack in the Box does is they use point of sale data, as every quick service restaurant does. They use the point of sale data from the cash registers. Okay. They're all hooked together. Okay. Well, that's not what we do. We consolidate financial data from the QuickBook files. So what the Jack in the Box does is what every franchisor in the restaurant space does, because they didn't have consolidation prior to us, is they rely on the point of sale data, which only gives you the basic sale data. It doesn't give you the full view of the financial health of each one of your franchisees. I talked to him, and he's going like, "That's interesting."
It doesn't give you expenses. Doesn't give you fixed assets, things like that.
Which leads to another part of our problem getting to the market is educating the people who have been doing business a certain way, relying on point of sale data for the last forever. Uh-huh. Now we're saying, hey, you don't need to rely on point of sale data. You need to look at your entire health of the organization, the P&L, the balance sheet, the general ledger transactions, everything. Which is one of the new tools that we're working on scheduled to be released about a year from now. Right now we sync the financial data, profit, P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, things like that. Well, we're working on a complete consolidation of general ledger data, transaction data, and it'll give you an unlimited, essentially unlimited customized report building, authoring and pushing of QuickBooks and other small business software. And that's what I said earlier, where our goal is to take the limitations of a small business software and give it the functionality of a fully enterprise class software.
Now, I really enjoy talking to people like yourself, pioneers, true innovators. I can hear and feel the passion in your voice that this is something that you really believe in, which I think is awesome. What are some of the popular misconceptions about? And you kind of brought some up with the point of sale, thinking that. But what are some other popular misconceptions in relation to the solution, and how do you dispel those myths?
Well, a couple of the other ones, we talked about the point of sale data, and that's a big one. That's probably the biggest one. But some of the other ones are that our competitors, who provide sort of KPI dashboards, they provide some custom reporting on individual entities. They tell their clients that they can consolidate. Well, the word consolidate is a broad term. Yes. And what they really mean is they can manually consolidate about 40 or 50 of them. and what we do is automatically in the cloud without any input whatsoever, consolidate thousands and thousands. We have no limitation on the number of files. I guess we do have a limitation. We could get to millions where we'd, but realistically, there is no limitation on the number of files, and it's automatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, and so there was no one doing consolidation before us. So people have gotten, that's the third hurdle we're having, is people have got used to doing business a certain way. And just like any business, you and I have a business, we're going to figure out a way around a problem and solve the problem the best way we can with the technology we know of.
Yes.
Okay? So, for example, I have a friend of mine in South Louisiana. He owns 40 Taco Bells. Okay? And he's never consolidated before. I've talked to him about it. I think he's going to become a member of Qvinci and give it a shot because he's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to love it. But he said, Brad, he goes, I got 3 or 4 accountants here working for me. And we figured out, we just do it all manually. Okay, so like any good businessman, if you don't have consolidation, you figure out a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're trying to educate people is you do not have to do that anymore because we do it automatically in the cloud as you sleep. And also providing the our version 1 of custom report building is coming out on December 7th or thereabouts. And then version 2 is next year. I think we have version 2 coming out in April or May, and then version 3 is next December, and that's the fully customizable reports. It's education. It's teaching people that we can provide you this service, and you can do these things for free. And I asked my friend, how long does it take you to put together a report of your 40 Taco Bells and get it to your management team? And he said, sometimes a week to 10 days. And I'm going like, we can get that done to you before you go to lunch on Monday.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, probably before that, because once you set it all up, you have the consolidation that happens automatically. The CFO comes in there; he can customize the reports, author them, build them, export them to PDF or Excel, and push them out to the clients with predefined addresses. Boom. So it's educating the client. I understand that too. I've been in business for a long time, and when I was in the oil field, we had a certain way of doing things. And when someone would come in my office and tell me how he can make my life easier, I was A, suspicious, and B, in the back of my mind thinking, who is this guy and what does he know that I don't know? Because I've been successful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand that, and we just got to persevere with those clients and be respectful to to what they've built. You don't want to walk in someone's client's office and say, "Hey, what you've been doing is stupid. I'm going to teach you the smart way to do it." That's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's even though I came from the oil field, it's every day I figure out it's all sales. It's respecting your client. It's teaching your client. It's being subservient to your client's needs. And I don't mean subservient in a negative way. I just mean you have a client. You work for them, and we're there to solve their problems and develop relationships and friendships. So those are some of the few things I think that we're faced with, and we have a team that I think is some of the finest people I've worked with, and I'm very proud of them. In fact, next week we're taking the entire office out to do go-kart racing for the holidays to get a little away from the office and have a little food and wine and give a few awards away and blow off a little steam.
That sounds like fun. Well, awesome. And it's always such a pleasure talking to someone like yourself. Now, if the listeners would like to learn more about Qvinci and possibly get a demo or find out more about it, what's the best way to contact the organization to find out about that?
Okay, our website, www.qvinci.com. If you go on that website, it has a link for an intro, and it has a big question: would you like to do a demo? That will lead them straight to customer service, and the customer service will do a demo. But if anyone wants to contact me directly, my email address is Brada, B-R-A-D-A, at Qvinci.com, Qvinci.com. If they email me, I will make sure that they get to the appropriate party and do a demo. And if anybody wants to contact me, I will arrange for a free trial to do, 14-day free trial to do this, to check out our software. And if they need more time, I'll make it happen for them. I'm fully confident that once you get to use our software, you get hooked because it makes your life easy. I used to use a paper calendar. I know we all did at some time. I use Outlook now. And I look at Outlook today, I'm going like, how did I ever make it using paper calendar? How did I ever keep things straight? But you did. But you learn because, use Outlook now, and Outlook's one of many calendars. I just use Outlook. But, these electronic calendars now, everything is kept up, and you don't miss birthdays anymore. It gives you little reminders, and our software kind of analogous to that. We're going to make people's life a lot easier. We just got a little convincing to do.
Yeah. Well, it's Brad, this is really special having you come on the show. I know that you're very busy running the organization. Congratulations on your success, and thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it, and I know that the listeners appreciate it as well.
Thank you very much, Constantine, for having me. Call me anytime. I'd love to come on and talk anytime about Qvinci. As you know, I'm very passionate about it, and I appreciate the chance to be interviewed and for having us. And you and the listeners have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.